Hey guys, and welcome back to the HobbyNut channel and the Model Car Cup series. As you know from the last video, we have shifted gears and we've gone back over to the 1/32 scale Lumina. Well, since I've made some changes to the body and started on those 32nd scale engines from Matthew over at MCV Products, I've decided while I'm this far into it, may as well make a few other details. So let me share that with you. Bring your model to life with MCV Products. Visit them on the World Wide Web at mcvproducts.net. In our last video, I had mentioned I was going to open that grill, and so here's the grill piece that we removed. And how we did that, by the way, was we just put a fresh X-Acto. You see she's opened up, and you see I've got a lot of cleanup there to do. But it turned out really clean. The thing when you're doing something like this on something that's this thin is take your time, put a fresh X-Acto blade in, and I just slowly started at the bottom and very slowly with the back of the blade, back edge. I would have used my Tamiya panel-eyed scriber to cut through, but this being, it's a little big for something this small. This is what I use to open the brake ducts and the air cooler anyway. So I went ahead and slowly, and I mean really slowly, probably took about 25 minutes to get this out. And then slowly at the top, because you see how thin that is up there, really just take your time, super slow, and then down until you get it cut out. And then I took my jeweler's files, cleaned it up really good, and then went back with one of the finer files and just kind of cleaned up a little bit more too, till we got nice and clean. But again, this is going to have to be resanded and repainted, which is not that big a deal. I'll just do the whole body. But I think it's looking really good. I'll start on this probably in the morning. I'm focusing on those engines right now. Now, the 32nd scale engines, the only thing of the kit engines that I'm going to be using is the oil pans, which were the racing style with the pumps on them, and or the oiling pumps, as well as the fan parts of the fan blade, or not fan blades, but the fan belt system. The problem with these engines and the kit engines, the bodies are steering, no problem, but the chassis and these engines are that softer, toyish plastic. This is not styrene. This is something totally different, and it is a soft plastic. And because it's a snap together, there were little plugs that snap into things, and some of those kept showing through. And now this one looks pretty good on this bottom of the oil pan. You can't see the circle on it. And I did one of the oil pans, or two of the oil pans, in brass, like the old hamburger style, and then a couple in aluminum. Now, once I got the primer on it, I didn't notice that hole, but I did after I've got the aluminum on it. So I went back, sanded that back down, and we've got a layer of putty on that now that's curing right now. And the other thing you'll see is we've already drilled out, well, we didn't drill them out, but we've used our center punch to mark the holes in the oil pan, or oil pans, and the pump system, so we can route our plumbing around from those. Got a scratch build, another. Now this is the stand that the car is going to be sitting on. This is scratch built from evergreen plastic, and it's just going to be sitting on the edges of the frame like that, and of course it'll be on a mirror too. And well, you really can't see it that way, but anyway, it'll be like that. And let's take a look at this chassis real quick. I don't remember if I showed you this before we are right now. It's pretty much done. There's a couple little details that I'll add, but we'll take a quick look here. You see the fire bottle down there. There's the steering wheel that is on the dash with the radio cord that kind of coils around the steering column. You see that safety net, which is folded down inside the car. The seat. I don't know if you can see that billet, the breather for the oil system there. And we'll go over all this stuff again. But I think she's looking really good. But anyway, the reason I showed this is because this is going to be, as my buddy Clay Kemp says, Batson style. The engine's going to be sitting beside it so you can see the detail of the engine. And by the way, since the engine's not going to be in the car, and once this one gets done, if I change my mind and put one in it and one beside it like I did the Corvette last year, we'll see. But you can probably see the lines with the fittings hanging. Sorry, try not to hit the camera there. Hanging. It's kind of hard to focus there. Well, you can't really see them there either. On both sides, there's a few lines that are just drooped, waiting to be hooked up. And we'll get to that. And then there's that heat shielding on the bottom there. Anyway, but I wanted to make a stand for the engine, and actually already had one made. Unfortunately, I had a mishap with it this afternoon, and kind of like Humpty Dumpty, I cannot get this thing go back together. So I'm going to scratch build another engine stand for the engine to sit on, and it'll be a little bit lower than this since the transmission is going to be actually on the engine this time. But not a big deal. And the carburetors, I wanted to show you one detailed and one not. When I say detailed, I mean with a wash on it. This is the 32nd scale carb. Let me see if I can get where this thing will focus a little bit. This one is just painted with the pale burnt metal all clad, and then I went back with the linkage and hit it with some Testors silver, so you can, well, I hope you can see the silver there on the linkage. And then I did the same thing with the second carb, and with this one I went ahead and did the wash on it, and man, did that make a difference. It gave it toned it down just a spot, and I think I'm getting out of focus here, but it brought out the details in the centers of the carburetor. You can much easier see the linkages on this one now, and I think it gave it a much more realistic look. And this is a super light wash. In fact, there was one or two spots that I wiped the brush mostly off, and all we did to get that that effect, and there they are side by side. And again, I don't know if this is focusing. Well, anyway, we just used our Tamiya Panaline accent color in black, and I started to use the dark gray, and then I thought, well, let's just try the black and see what it does. But as you can see, there's a huge difference there, bigger difference than I would have even thought. But I really like the effect, the look of this. Then we'll be adding our plumbing and all the lines and springs and stuff to this too. And in 32nd scale, yeah, this is something. It's probably going to be the whole week just working on the engine and wrapping up a little bit of fine sand in the body, getting ready to get its final colors on it too. But the engine, that body work, pretty much it, other than just get it back together. I'm trying to think if there was something else I was going to share. I think, guys, that's it for right now. This was just a real quick update. I did want to show you this real quick. I cut out a piece of that screen from last time, if you remember, and this is not the one I'm going to be using because I don't want this just glued in from the back like that. I want this to fit flush right up in the front. So I'll be cutting another one, and I'll be folding the top down so it'll come out and down, and then on the sides it'll be folded in where it'll fit up into the space flush. But I think that's going to look so much better than what I had in it, just the plastic with the wash on it, which it looked okay, but with this other stuff on there, it just, the more I think about it, it just wasn't going to fit, or what just wasn't going to look right. So that's it for the moment, guys. I appreciate you tagging along, and hope you're enjoying this series. And this 30-second, this is, I've already got decals in 30-second scale for another one. Now, whether I end up doing that or not, I don't know. Let's get this one done first. Guys, thanks. God bless. I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.